Is it actually possible to transform a skinny fat physique into a more aesthetic, ripped anime look? The answer is yes, because I was once that skinny fat nerd, and in this video, I'm gonna give you the exact 3-step process that allowed me to go from that skinny fat E-rank noob guy to a aesthetic, ripped S-rank me. Not only is this process going to make it so much easier to transition out of skinny fat, helping you burn fat and build muscle, but you're also going to do it without overthinking your workouts or overthinking your diets. Now, besides not looking aesthetic, why is skinny fat such a bad thing? Well, for one reason, it can be very dangerous. I'm actually not joking. Imagine at the start of the Chainsaw Man movie, the moment Denji laid his eyes on Reze, he just immediately knew, this girl's the bomb devil. This girl's gonna kill me. He would probably take precautions into his own hands and probably not get close in the first place. Honestly, knowing Denji, that might not happen. Regardless, of course, that's not what actually happens. Instead, it's revealed much later in the movie that Reze is trying to take his heart and kill him. And since Denji was never able to find out until way too late, the chaos that ensued, far more catastrophic. The problem with being skinny fat is that it's like Reze, a devil in disguise. A lot of people who are skinny fat go their whole life thinking, oh, I'm skinny, I'm probably healthy. When in reality, they have the health quality of an overweight person, but disguised as an underweight person. The biggest problem with skinny fat is that you are carrying far too much fat compared to the amount of muscle you actually have, which is not a lot. And this actually makes the problem even worse. Since your muscles are basically like energy absorbing organs, the smaller they are, the less energy that they're gonna hold, i.e., the calories that you eat from food. So if you're eating more calories than your muscles can handle, that's going to spill over into your fat cells, making you fatter. And when those overflow and your fat threshold is met, it's going to spill into your liver, which causes fatty liver. And eventually it also spill back into the muscles, which will turn you into a Wagyu human, if you will. In summary, you get fatter and fatter without ever realizing it because you think you're skinny. And this could lead to a multitude of problems like diabetes, and of course the worst symptom of all, lack of aesthetics. So let's jump into how you can fix skinny fat for good. When you're skinny fat, again, the problem isn't that you're fat. The problem is that you don't have enough muscle. So that's why you need to build muscle as a first step, and of course that can't happen without resistance training. By focusing first on increasing your lean mass, it's going to help offset the body fat percentage. Think about it. If you add more muscle to your body, even if the fat stays the same, the percentage is going to go down. On top of that, you're just naturally going to look better. Even if you're a little bit pudgy-wudgy, a little bit of fat around the edges, the muscle that you'll be putting on will be poking through the fat and give you a pretty decent physique pretty early on. That said, what are the best exercises that you should do if you want to turn from a skinny fat physique to an aesthetic physique? First things first, you got to work on compound movements, meaning exercises that work multiple muscle groups at the same time. It's far more efficient, you'll be building an all-around physique, and it burns more calories using more of that energy that's being stored within your muscles. And you want to pick exercises that focus on the main aesthetic muscle groups, things like the V-taper, so anything like pull-ups for the lats or inverted rows. Of course, you can't forget the shoulders if you want that V-taper look, so anything like lateral raises, pike push-ups, handstand push-ups. You'll also want to focus on the chest, maybe more so on the upper chest, so decline push-ups, regular push-ups, that's going to work very well. For abs, just train your abs. And of course, legs. Never, ever skip leg day. Not only are chicken legs cringe, but legs are quite big muscles and they use up a lot of energy when you do leg exercises. And obviously, you want to progressively overload over time so that you can continue to get stronger, continue to get bigger, continue to get more aesthetic. Easiest way to do that, especially if you're just doing calisthenics, is adding more reps or upping the exercise progression. But if you're looking for a follow-along workout program to get you started from absolute zero and transform your physique in as little as 90 days, click the link in the description. P.S. You can also personally work with me if you're looking for something more special and personally tailored to you. Again, link in the description. But more important than resistance training, diet needs to be highly optimized for building muscle. Now, some of you out there might be tempted to go on a cut to get rid of the skinny fat frame. That would be like trying to kill all non-curse users instead of trying to kill all curses. But who the hell would ever do that? Instead, if you want to get rid of skinny fat, you got to start on a nice bulk of 250 calories at most, and focus on eating that real food. There's no dirty bulking around here. If I see a bag of Doritos in your hands, I will come to your house and personally shove a steak down your throat. Whole. I won't even cut it up. I won't even mama bird it to you, meaning I chew it up and spit it in your mouth, unless you're into that sort of thing. And of course, eat the 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. It's just a standard baseline that everyone should follow. Now, if you're struggling to eat a lot of food to bulk, then here's what I recommend. 1, try drinking your calories. It's a lot easier to pack a bunch of energy into a shake rather than consume it on a plate. You ever notice that you can probably eat a pizza on your own, but probably not a whole 2 steaks on your own? For me, carbs have always helped me to increase my appetite. So if you're struggling to get things down, throw in some fruit or a bowl of rice. And 3, just keep on snacking. It's a lot easier to get your calories in when you disperse them throughout the day rather than condense them into one particular meal. Now, at some point, once you finish building up sufficient muscle, you're going to need to start shedding that fat in order to unlock your true aesthetics. But when is a good time to start losing that fat? You could honestly do it anytime you're comfortable, but in my opinion, you should start cutting down once you reach the midpoint of your recommended weight for your height, ideally at the tail end of it. For reference, this would put you at about a 24, 25 BMI. This is going to give you plenty of wiggle room to stay at a healthy weight while losing fat. So once you've got to a weight that is healthy and you're comfortable with, here's how you can burn that fat without any effort. And there's 2 ways you can actually do it. First off, you can go the calorie deficit route. No question there. Everybody knows it works. 500 to 700 calorie deficit is what I recommend. At this stage, protein is still a must. Not only is it crucial for preserving muscle during a cut, but it also helps you to stay more full while eating less. Now, if you're like me and you do struggle to stay in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time, here's what you can do. Firstly, lean meats are going to be your best friend. Lean ground beef, ground turkey, ground chicken, ground pork, ground what other animals are there? That's going to help you feel more full because you're going to be eating more protein. Second tip, less carbs. Kind of like the opposite of the previous tip. If carbs are going to be making you more hungry, try eating less of them. And third, this is just like a general tip, don't eat after 7 p.m. I say after consuming a bunch of food after 7 p.m. A lot of our binge cravings come at night. So setting that hard rule for yourself, not eating 7 p.m., it's going to take away a lot of the risk of overeating and binge eating your calories all at once. You'll also want to get in some good cardio in order to burn even more calories throughout the day. Anything works here, but I'm always an advocate for 10K steps a day. Now, if you were like me like a few months ago and you're stuck at a 9-to-5 desk job and you find it hard to get 10K steps a day, this is exactly what you can do. It's exactly what I did to always get 10K steps a day. First thing you can do is just park farther away. Forces you to get your first steps in before you get into the building and when you leave the building. And if you're a maniac like me, you can do a couple blocks away. Do a little jog and sweat your way to work. Second, take the stairs all the time. Does not matter what floor you're on, just keep taking the stairs. I used to climb 11 floors just to get to lunch and then 11 floors back down just to get back to work. From this day forward, you are allergic to elevators. Third thing you can do is just pace around. Get up every 30 minutes, which you're supposed to do anyway, and just walk around the office. Who cares if people stare at you and think that you're a weirdo for walking around the office and crawling on your hands and knees because, you want to get your steps in? Why did I say crawling on your hands and knees? I never did that. I never did that at work. And one of the last things you can do is take your lunch break and go on a walk with like a 30-minute walk. It doesn't take an hour to eat lunch, so just spend a lot of it using that time to get some good steps in. Now that's the calorie deficit option, but the second option is you could eat at maintenance. That is viable. And if you're at a healthy weight at the start of your journey and you don't need to bulk, I would probably do this instead of cutting. It's a lot slower process than a cut, but it still works if you just want to maintain your weight entire year round. And again, the process is the same, but the calorie deficit is either 0 to 100. Depends on your preference and depends how fast you want to do it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the most important step. Are you ready for it? I don't think you're ready for it. I don't think you're ready. This is a crazy step. Most of you guys can't do it. Sometimes I can't do it. It's really difficult, but it's very crucial. Are you here? Are you ready? Good to go? Come in. Zoom in a bit. There we go. Go to sleep. Now that may seem anticlimactic, because it is, but getting proper sleep is both essential for building muscle and losing fat. For one, most important, helps you recover from resistance training. All the muscle that you're trying to build is built in your sleep. So if you sleep poorly, you recover poorly, which means you grow muscle poorly. The less muscle you grow, the higher chance that you're going to stay skinny fat forever. Second thing it does, helps us to eat less. Whenever you restrict sleep, it tends to increase appetite, which leads to more food intake, which leads to more weight gain. Probably because your body's like, hey, we didn't get energy from our sleep. Let's get it from these Doritos right here. Personally, I find when I sleep better, I tend to also work out better. But to start building muscle at all and to take advantage of the magic of sleep, you need to actually push yourself with the correct exercises in the first place. So watch this video right here to learn every calisthenics exercise you need to transform your physique and go from beginner to pro.